next, Mal? Yeah? Okay. So I'm very excited because every time Mal has come up here, I have botched his introduction so horribly that everybody thought it was comedy night. So tonight I'm not going to do that. I've been practicing a lot. Mal is from Uruguay. Uruguay! Yay! The first country in South America to legalize cannabis. No wonder I keep forgetting where he comes from. And he's going to talk about how to develop your inner master. So thank you so much, Mal. I'm looking forward to this.
Good night. How are you feeling? Good. Good?
Yeah, let's go.
Ivan, can you hear me?
Nice and clear.
Okay.
All the way to
because
the back, yeah.
He always say to me that when I speak in the men's circle, nobody hears to me. So I promise him that when I speak in public, people can understand what I said. Okay? So my name is Mauricio. I'm from Uruguay. I have 32 years old, and I have 1 year speaking in English. So it was a full pressure to me translate Mika. So I'm so happy to be here. And Jason said to me that today we were talking about how to release or how to have spiritual development in a way. So personal and spiritual development, he said. So I was wondering what was the way to say that. If he was waiting for have personal examples or directed tools that we are going to do, like follow this ABCD. So I think maybe it's a good way to do that. Share with you what was my own path. I am not a person who is illuminated. I am a person who works daily to grow, to try to have more tools to find my own truth. And some moment in my life I was trying to find something, and another moment I tried to realize that I only need to be myself. But there is some stuff that I can recognize when I think what was happening in my life that in a way was a lesson that I was taking, and I was transforming myself and evolving to a different thing. The first thing that was more powerful in all my life, and this maybe is because it's my kind of personality, was to understand what is ego. For me, one of the most important things to grow is to develop this behavior to be humble in some way. But for me, it was something that nobody teach me in the school. My family doesn't teach me what is ego. My family doesn't teach me how to be humble. So I remember one day playing football soccer, and one little guy said to me, "You are pedant." I say, "What is that?" So it was the first time that I hear this word. I say, why he feel that? Because I used to be playing games all the time and joking with my friend. I'm best, I'm the bigger one, I'm the most powerful, I'm the faster. But for me, it always was a game, you know? So I started growing and I studied informatics. So I used to be an IT guy, but I used to be a really good IT guy. So when I had 23 years old, I was working in a company and I was having problem with my boss because I was waiting for my raise of money and he wasn't giving me that. And after some meetings, they were saying me, "Oh, you are so much confident, or you connect too much with the people, or you have too much security," and say, "Yes, but what I have to do to change that?" Nobody was coaching me to say, "Okay, read this book, do this thing, or grow in that way." They were marking or pointing the problem, but not giving me the tool to grow. So all my life I was having this situation. They fired me a few days ago, but before that, I have a conversation with the manager of this place. And he said to me, "Do you see Star Wars?" And I said, "Yes." "Okay, you have the Force. If you learn how to use this Force, you are going to become a Jedi. But if you don't know, you're going to be in the dark side." And I get with this idea in my mind. This fired me a few weeks after that, and I start doing some projects for myself. So I start digging in internet, what is energy, what is chakras. So, okay, so I consider that the beginning of my spiritual path. So this talk is about how to connect with your inner master. Because I was trying to find different tools. I was connecting in one moment with the school of Ravi Shankar, trying to understand something about Ayurveda or Ayurvedic yoga, and was so important to me because I start opening my mind to different concepts. After that, I connect with the concept of Buddhism. So I was studying Buddhism, doing the practices of Tibetan Buddhism, and reading a lot of books because during the process of spiritual development and personal development, working in different projects, mostly multi-level marketing, I read a lot of books and I get this behavior. If I recognize that I need to learn how to develop some skill, probably there is one book who teach that. So I was taking people who was having these behaviors, and I say, do you know one book that I can develop this? And he said, yes, this book. Okay, I go to get the book, and I read the book and say, okay, I have this new tool. So I was collecting a lot of tools and connecting with different things. So I want to share with you some of these tools of personal development in a way, because I feel that we are our own masters. So if we can study ourselves, we can grow. So I try to find different tools to connect with my true self. The first thing was Ayurveda, because I don't know if some of you are connected with the concept of Ayurveda, but my main dosha is Pitta, which is fire. And this is too funny because we love and we enjoy what is bad for us. Everything that makes you be out of balance is the thing that you are going to want more. In my case, chocolate, intensity, cafe, so coffee, stuff like this, that okay, I love to be in adrenaline, you know, but it's also the thing that makes me out of balance and don't allow me to take good decisions. So this was the first tool to understand my dosha. So when I going to mentor one person, the first thing that I do is to do different tests to realize what kind of dosha is the most powerful in you, to say, okay, try to eat more of this or avoid this kind of food. The thing that Mika was saying, if we have our belly in order, we can think with the brain. But when we have pain in the belly, we cannot even sleep good, we cannot take good decisions, and we are 100% emotional. So this is the first tool. Talking about this, we also can understand what is the different level of bodies that we have. From my point of view, what I take as true is that we have a physical body. I talked about that the previous time here. We also have an emotional body. We also have a mental body. And for me, what is over that is the bigger self, which we can say is God or whatever like this, but in the middle of the divinity and our bodies is our soul. This is what I choose to believe. So I try to live as a soul, having a human experience. Doing that, I can separate myself of my physical body, my emotional body, my personality, and my ego. I am not none of that. I choose to believe that I am my soul. Okay? For me, this is so important, because I can study my physical body to know how to work with my tool the best way as possible. I can recognize my emotional traumas in the other level to recognize what is my triggers. So what is going to do people to me that make me react. And also, this is emotional trauma. The other tool that I use is Enneagram. The Enneagram of personalities is something that describes the program that we have in mind. It's just a program like the program of the computer that is going to follow certain rules when we get on balance or when we get out of balance. When we get on balance, the soul takes the control and the soul is leading our life. When we get out of balance, the ego takes the control. And the ego takes all the decisions, like pressing buttons. I don't know if some of you saw this I never remember the name in English. So it's in Spanish is, wow, it's raining hard. You want to move? So whatever. There is the tools that I use, you know. I use to learn the personality, I use Enneagram. To learn about the body, I use Ayurveda. To learn about emotion, I use emotional traumas. And for me, this allows me to recognize myself in these different levels and recognize where I get in imbalance or out of balance. And follow some easy steps to get in balance that I think can work for most of the people. That is basically eat healthy. When I mean healthy is things that you can cook yourself in a way. So no using things that came in a package. Second, do exercise, meditate, learn something, and this is the way that I feel that I'm growing, doing something to generate money and doing something that I enjoy doing. When I feel that I'm doing something that I am not enjoying, I'm separating myself from my true self. When I do all of these things, I can feel myself, I can feel my body. And when I feel my body, I feel my truth. And I can take decisions listening my true self, my real master. Okay? This is what I do. And through this process, I came to a moment in Playa del Carmen when I met a master who teach me the concept of sacred sexuality. And I start recognizing that all my life I was taking the decisions trying to follow women who call my attention. And I don't know if some of you recognize the concept of Kundalini energy or sexual energy. Okay, what I start observing is that when I pay attention to this energy and I go closer to this energy, I can recognize there is an impulse which is animal, but also in the same intention and impulse, there is the energy of God saying me what I have to do to grow spiritually. So what I learned is when I have the power to recognize that I want to fuck this woman in this way, and I can go closer to say, okay, actually I want to be guided by you and I have something to learn with you. I don't need to have sex with you. I don't need to follow this impulse as an animal, and I have the power to be different of the dogs. But if you see a dog following a female dog, he cannot think. So we as men, we used to do the same. The only problem is we think that we think. This is why I choose to work now. I'm organizing not as a master because I'm an eternal student. So this is why I organize with higher level masters Tantra retreat as that you see this that you have around to you. You can see here in this QR code the next Tantra retreat that we have this month. If some of you want to check it, you have all the program there and information of masters, which are amazing, and also the Tantra teachers training that we are organizing. So why I do that is because doing my research, I realized that the higher levels of spiritual development are there when we can be able to manage and react and control our impulses through sexual energy. So for me, this is the higher level to connect with your true self and your higher master. Thank you very much for listening.
Beautiful, man.
Do you have any questions?
Hey, you can't say Tantra, bro. You can't say
Yeah. Google is blocking me, and Instagram and Facebook too. So do you have any questions? No? You don't understand
We
nothing?
love you, Mal.
I love you. Thank you.